In the southwest of France, in the heart of the Landes forest, the Eco Museum of Marquez welcomed during the year 2009 the exhibition SOS Save Our Sources. This exhibition is the result of an international collaboration bringing together Hungary, Sweden, and France. The title of the exhibition is a warning message intended to increase awareness among teenagers of the environment through rural heritage. The rural heritage is defined by landscapes, know-how, technique, and building traditions that have been maintained from generation to generation. How can this ancient heritage constitute a source of influence, of innovation, and of action in our daily life? How can these skills, often disappeared, help us to reflect upon and to modify our daily behavior? Finally, how can we understand the territory where we live and also live in harmony with it? Here are some questions dealt with in the exhibition. Organized in 6 sections, the exhibition is marked out by 12 key messages in English, designed to attract the young people towards important points. The visit opens with a contemporary work of Philip Klarsfeld, which shows us a world still relatively wild at the edge of human habitation. The question which guides us in this first space is, how did all this happen? Various factors determined by history are symbolized by blocks. Politics, climate, demography, science, and many others are modifying the relationship between man and his environment. Throughout history, the goal was always the same: to nourish the human population on a planet thought to be inexhaustible. The big stage presents the most important key phases of this evolution, when the invention and the use of instruments were used to exploit nature. At first manual, agriculture becomes animal-drawn beginning in the Middle Ages. In the 19th century, agricultural and industrial revolutions are in march. Models of agricultural machines are placed off-balanced on a shelf, thus asserting that this situation is no longer viable. Mirrors reflect our image and our responsibility. Motorization at first caused a massive rural exodus. How did we react to this situation? In the hushed atmospheres of ministries and lecture halls, politicians became aware of the global level of environmental problems and often proposed legislative solutions. For their part, on the battlefield, citizens engaged themselves for causes that directly concern their living space. Demonstrations are accentuated by banners and floats. The fights concern the excessive projects for the Danube in Hungary, or the pollution of underground water in Brittany, or still the diversion of a river in Sweden. In the section Always More, the red color of the room underlines the dramatic dimension of the irrational exploitation of natural resources. Deforestation is the most concrete example. Farmlands have to feed an ever-growing population. Battery breeding is ever increasing. In a sense, we gulp down agricultural additives, symbolized in the exhibition by canned food. Traditional farming has become the food processing industry of today. The gilded supermarket trolley overflows with products. It is the symbol of our hyperconsumption society. The no-exit black corridor makes us become aware that the exploitation of our environment causes climatic and ecological disorders as well as pollution. From a local impact, the consequences of these dramas become global. Storms destroy hundreds of hectares of forest in northern Europe. The Chernobyl drama is still felt. The oil spills in Brittany ravage sea and coastlines. Always more. But have we reached a point of no return? If so, what can we do? For more than a century, man has protected natural sites. Photos of national or regional natural reserves in France, Hungary, and Sweden are shown on the ceiling in a circular layout. Lying comfortably, the visitor can recharge his batteries and therefore cultivate a new eye. In the yellow space entitled, "And If We Nurtured a New Viewpoint," we can see how natural and local materials, such as the clay soil in Hungary, wood in Sweden, or the timber framing from the Landes area, allow energy savings thanks to their isothermal and heat-conveying properties. The visitor is invited to use the energy of his body by pedaling on a bicycle to light the message, "Move." We can also use free and unlimited energies, such as the wind and the sun, being more viable alternatives to fossil fuels. Rural heritage also conveys values that we could describe as common sense attitudes. By reusing, by repairing or by recycling objects of daily life. In Sweden, used textiles are recycled and transformed into bedspreads or carpets. In Hungary, the traditional ornamental motifs are recycled in a contemporary fashion. A table covered with a grass mat, plates decorated with landscapes, garden tools serving as cutlery. The landscape is in the plate. The variety of products is due to the wide range of landscapes, agriculture, and breeding. To protect and to revitalize them means fighting against standardization and the impoverishment of tastes. Among these products, such as the Hungarian Mangalica pig, the locust trees that favor honey production, the traditional fisheries along the Tisza River. In Sweden and France, the mountain summer pastures are convenient for bovine breeding and for cheese making. Behind the variety of rural know-how is expressed the high spirits of the populations that live in these territories.